Hi everybody, welcome to With Love by Carrie. Today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to pick a picture out of Google to make your own file. Okay, so to get started, you're going to go to Images, and then you're going to put in the image that you're looking for. So let's put in cartoon, oops, cartoon, um, Snoopy. Okay. So what you're going to come up with is all Snoopy pictures. Now, what you can do, what I prefer to do, is you want to get the greatest um, picture, meaning specs of the picture. So I go to Tools, I go to Size, and I go to Large. Because then you're going to get the best pixels out of a picture. Let's pick, oh my, the Snoopy. And if you roll the mouse cursor over the picture, you'll wind up with the pixels in this corner right over here. So it says 900 by 1040, which is a good amount of pixels. Now, if this is a ping, this background will be transparent, or it'll come up black on in silhouette. So let's see. Let me copy the image. Go into Silhouette. Open a new one. Paste. And since it was a ping, you'll see how it's black in the background. When you come up with something like this, you're not going to be able to trace it. It won't happen. So let's try again. Let's get another, I wanted to say Mickey, but Snoopy. Let's try this one. All right. This also is going to probably not going to work. Some of them do, some of them don't. Let's try and go back to Silhouette. And see, it doesn't come up. Okay, so let's try again. Let's grab another one. Alrighty, here we got one. But it's this one actually is moving, so you're not going to be able to get that. Let's try this one again. Looks like it's good. Let's grab it. Copy image. Go back into Silhouette. We'll get rid of this one because it didn't work. Paste. And now we have him with no background, which is perfect. I'm going to do my select trace area. And we're able to get a pretty good picture here. Let me just make it a little bit bigger here. And it looks like we've got everything, which is perfect. So let's trace that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the Snoopy image and push him off to the side. You want to get a pretty crisp looking cutout. However, if I zoom in on this a little bit by his tail, you could see that it's a little wonky, which I call wiggly woggly wonky. What we'll do is we're going to double click on here, and we have all our edit points. When you have the edit points, every point or every little square that you see is where your silhouette is going to make a pivot or a turn or no, and that indicates where the blade is actually going. Since there's so many, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit simplify. And you'll notice that a lot of them will go away and the lines will wind up coming out a little bit more even and crisp. And sometimes it could take 2 seconds, and a lot of them disappeared. Now you can see that the tail is very, whoops, the tail is very crisp. It's got a straight line now, and there won't be any wiggly wagglies as it's cutting. Now, I know that somebody had asked in regards to the edit points. So if I have areas that are not connected, like for instance this tail, what we'll need to do is we need to connect it. So let me zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to grab my knife tool, and I'm going to draw a line with the knife tool to cut it from point A to point B. And what you'll see is now there's a space where I cut it. Always when you use a tool, make sure you go back to your cursor or your select tool and make sure that it's turned back, or else you're going to keep using the tool that you've used. Now what we're going to do is this inside piece right here, we're going to connect those two lines with the edit points. So I'm going to double click on it, and we have a red point here. And give me 1 second. Let me get this a little bit bigger so you can actually see what I'm doing. See the red point in here and a red point here. What I'm going to do is I want to grab that red point, and I'm going to bring it, if you could grab it, and it'll attach to the other red point. Now when you all of these points either smooth or a corner. Okay. What I want to do is I want to remove these 2 points. So we're just going to delete them. And it just made my point a lot crisper. Now we're going to do it to the outside. Click outside, make them disappear. Now do double click on the outside line, and we're going to make these 2 red points attach. Just going to bring it down, and it's going to automatically attach, so there's no space. And what I want to do is I want to get rid of these lines because there's just too many of them, and they're going in directions that I don't want. Now, you see this red line right here? We'll make this bigger again so you can actually see what's going on. Oops. The red line is the direction that you're going to be deleting. Okay, so I'm going to click here. This red line, if I delete this one, it's then going to throw me off to the next one. So I'm going to start from the inside and work out. So I'm going to delete that one, that one, that one. See how it goes in a row? And as you can see, this is a corner. It's this edit point. The edit points here, when you click on it, it'll indicate what kind of edit point it is. So this is a corner edit point. I don't want a corner edit point. I want a smooth. Watch what happens. It became smooth. Then what we're going to do is it's all playing with the points to see how you want it to turn out. So now I fixed that line, and it doesn't look as horrible as it did before. Okay, so that's going to be an even and a straight cut. So let's bring this out again so that you could see. Now his arm, I don't like the way his arm is, so we're going to fix that. Double click it, and you notice all the edit points. This I don't like over here, so we're going to get rid of it. But if I take this one away, it's going to go this way. So I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to go down. till the points are where I want them. Now what happened was it made it completely straight. We want to curve it. So this is already a smooth line. As you can see over here in your edit point, it's smooth. We're going to grab the top of this one and we're going to pull it out. Okay, I know now this line has now touched the other line. We'll go back to that in a minute. So, but we want to change the arm. Click it again. I'm going to get rid of this point. And you notice how it's going up. I don't want it to do that. So I want to go here. And I'm going to edit. This is now a corner. We don't want a corner. We want a smooth. We want Snoopy's hands to be smooth. Okay, so now we got his hand. Oh, not really as well as I'd like it. It's on a corner. We're going to smooth it. We're going to smooth it. Because his fingers. We're going to get rid of this one. And this is how you manipulate everything. And we're going to smooth that out. Make it round. And you could change everything to the way, to your specifications, how you want everything. Just going to change that a little bit. I want to bring his fingers in a little bit closer. Get rid of this point. And then we're going to smooth it out. Whoops. Smooth it out. Now, when you're ready to grab a point, you're going to see that the cursor turned into a black dot with an arrow. You see that? That's when you know you could grab a point. Otherwise, what's going to wind up happening, when you go to grab something and you don't have that point, you get the hand or the cursor, it's going to move the whole item that you're working on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete a few of these editing points. And I'm going to add one right here. And I'm going to bring it out and I'm going to make it round to the way that I want it to be. Okay, so his hand's pretty good. Let's see what's going on over here. I'm not sure I like the way this looks over here, so let's get rid of some of these edited points. Delete, delete, delete. And we're going to round it off a little bit. And then we're going to fix this piece right here, and it's round. And sometimes if you just click it and you hit smooth, it makes it where the points work for you, depending on what you're looking for. So that all worked. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to minus this down a little bit in size so that you can see what we've been working with. And if the lines aren't touching, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to fill it with color. So let me fix this piece again. It's out there. It's right here. Okay. We're just doing this fast. Now, Woodstock is yellow. So if I hit Woodstock, he's attached to the outline of Snoopy. So he'll never get colored in. And the reason being is, let's make it larger again so that you could see what I'm talking about. His hair, nothing is attached. So you'd have to get in there with a knife and cut each piece to attach them so that you could get a full Woodstock. I don't know how much time I have left on this, but let's see before we get cut off. I want to hook this piece up to this piece. So I'm going to mark it here, and I'm going to mark it down here. Okay. We'll go back to our cursor, and I am going to take this inside line, which turns out to be the whole thing, shift, and hit the little piece, and make it a compound path. Now when I hit this, I have all these red dots. So let's zoom in to this point right here. And what I want to do is I want to take this red dot and I want to attach it to that red dot. But I do not want to attach this one to that one. I want to attach this one to here. So let's get the knife tool out again. And I'm just going to put a little niche in that. Go back and change it to my select tool. Grab this piece, shift, and this piece, and make it a compound path. Now double click, and you see all your red dots again. I'm going to grab this red dot, and I'm going to bring it to the outside. It's all a puzzle piece. It's all putting it together. Whoops. Let's get rid of that. Okay, now we're going to have to now bring this red dot to that red dot. What? Okay, so I am going to grab this red dot. I'm going to bring it down here. Whoops. Let me bring that back. I didn't have my the pointer right. Bring it down here. And then I'm going to bring this point. Now, if I bring this point to here, if I bring this red point to here, I'm going to ruin this line. And I don't want to ruin that line because I like the way that this looks as it's going into his hair. So I'm going to add a dot, an edit point. All you have to do is click on it once. There it is. There's the edit point. So now I'm going to grab the red dot and I'm going to bring it down here. And now I have the hairline coming together. I'm going to do the same thing here with these three pieces. Grab the knife. Going to cut it. Let me go back a minute because that just did not work. I'm going to grab the knife. I'm going to go here. What is going on with Silhouette? I'll make a dot here. Get back to my cursor. And I'm going to grab the inside and the outside. I will make a compound path. Now all those red dots. So I'm going to bring this red dot, the outside red dot, and I'm going to bring it to that outside one. And I'll bring this one to Silhouette. Come on, work for me here. I'm going to bring this dot to this dot. Sometimes Silhouette just does not want to cooperate. And we froze. Okay. That red dot to that red dot. Okay, fine. Now we want to make a line from this hair to that. So we're going to grab the knife again. And we're going to go downward to the bottom. Go back and make sure that you put it into a cursor. Oh, forgot to attach these two. Hold on. Grab these. Hit shift. Grab the little one. Make a compound path. Double click. Didn't happen. Hold on. This. This. And shift and that. Make a compound path. There we go. So the inside one goes to the inside one. Outside one goes to the outside. Now, I want to change this. I want to make this hair be more like with stock. There we go. See how he's coming along? And then we're going to do the last one right here. And then I'm going to just color it in so I could show you what I'm talking about. But I'm going to grab it from down here. Okay. Make sure that you put your select tool back on. And we're going to make that. And then that. And now we have hair. So now we could color it in. So we're going to, though, make his eye and his body a compound path because you want the eye to be cut out. Now I'm going to color him in. in yellow, and that did not work. Let's go back and try again. Okay, so I'm going to grab his release compound here. So I want the eye. I know why it didn't happen, and I'm going to show you right now. If there's a red dot, when I double click on this eye, there's a space that was not indicated. See? That's why you can't color in the eye. It won't color in if there's a space because there's no, it's not closed, it's not contained. So let's double click on the eye and just hit the red dot. You'll see what happens. Turned red. Okay, I don't want that red. We want that empty. So I want the eye and Woodstock's body. Now we're going to make it a compound path. And then we're going to fill him in yellow. And you see how that happened? And we have, well, his hair. So let's bring it out. And now his feet, if we wanted to make sure that his feet were all one color or his tail is all one color, you'd have to combine that and put it all together. So, but let's color in, let me shrink it down to size so you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in Snoopy's body white. I'm going to color his tail white. I'm going to color his ear. Well, his ear and his body and his eye. We're going to make this a compound path. Because we want that to be cut out and that to be cut out. And the background is going to be black. So we're going to make that white. And now we're going to make the little part on his nose white. Well, you know what? Let's make it a light gray. And it's not coloring in. Why? Because there's a red dot in there. Now it's gray. See? Let's make sure that we don't have any breaks. We would have a problem. Alright, so again, let's make sure, let's make that white. And now let's see what happens. Because we could always go back. And half of Snoopy's body is black when it should not be. So now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to send that layer back. So you're going to right click and you're going to hit send back, and there you go. You have Snoopy's body. We didn't color in Woodstock's tail, so give me 1 second. Let's color that yellow, which it won't color yellow, and you know why? Because there's got to be a red dot in there. Now it's yellow. Let's see, is there another piece in here that we can color? Yep. See this little guy? It's probably got a red dot. There it does. So now it's colored in. Minus. So now you have your Snoopy and all the adjustments were made. I hope I explained that so that you could understand. If not, what I'll do is I'll do another video, but please let me know. Leave me a comment, or you could get in touch with me on Facebook, or wherever. Well, anyway, I hope everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and everybody please be safe. Thank you. Bye.